Here tonight.
T-Birds hockey, tonight's first period face-off is sponsored by Amtrak and the Cascades T-Bird fan train. The T-Birds will be moving right to left in the home blues. Kamloops in the road whites with the blue and orange trim. We are underway. The T-Birds dump the puck to the Kamloops blue line. It's knocked out of the air off the near boards at center ice. Picked up by Gibbons. Slide it back to Jackson off the far boards at his own blue line. Comes back in the Seattle zone. Played off the far boards by Gibbons. Turns it up ice, throws it out of the zone to Metcalf. Pushes it through center ice. Duran can't get it, but there's Hansen to play it in. Turns and fires a shot that goes wide on the glove side. Banging for the puck down low in the corner, Metcalf. Chased in behind the Kamloops goal. Coming over to help out for Seattle's Duran. Metcalf trying to get away from the hit by Teslick. Trying to push it back on top. He gets knocked off his skates, and the Blazers come the other way with it. Taken down the right board onside by Hogg. Try to get around Hansen. Hansen dipsy-doodled him right back after Hogg tried to walk behind him. Flipped him right off the puck. Took it to center ice. Both teams changing up. Kamloops Macias will dump it in. Lepp plays the puck in behind the Seattle goal down to our right. Leaves it back there, and Barthel will come up and play it to his own blue line in Kenyon. Gags to the neutral zone, trying to flick it forward down the left side boards to Skirko. It hit Macias at the Kamloops blue line, and it came in offside on Seattle, and that stops the action. The referee tonight, by the way, is Derek Zalaski. The linesman are Trevor Boudreau and Kyle Murchison. Face-off just outside the Blazers zone off the near boards, right down in front of us. Canyon on the face-off. Gags had 2 goals last night, including the game winner, one that iced it with 2 seconds left. And still like to see the video on the goal scored by Kyle Fako that I thought went off his skate. And Gags is not going to take a goal away from a teammate, even if that was the case, as Fako got his first of the season. Here's the puck dumped in behind the Kamloops goal out the right side. Stamler, he's just hit right across the shoulders as he set up to take a shot. I don't know if he saw the man coming to him. Jarrett Lukin just took a shot right at him up high to knock him off the shot, and the T-Birds clear it down ice. No icing here. It's waved off. Both teams changing up. Kamloops back to get it in their own zone. Picked up and brought up the boards right wing and through center ice by Calvin Saggart. Slips in across the Seattle blue line. Richards can't get around Fitzgerald in the near circle. Fitz takes him down. Going to get called for the penalty here. Delayed call against Seattle. Battle for the puck in the corner left of the Seattle goal. Poked free for a moment there by Kamloops, and Fako chased it back into the corner, so that'll stop the action, and the Blazers will get a power play early. We're just about 2 minutes into the first period. We'll take a break, come back with the Blazer power play next on T-Birds Radio.
Holding at 2:05. He's moving up the penalty list. He's 8th, and he's climbing.
Yeah, it's Brett Duncan, not Brent Duncan.
Seattle Thunderbirds penalty to number 28, Zach Fitzgerald. 2 minutes for holding an opponent's stick. Time of the penalty, 2:05. Seattle, Fitzgerald. 2 minutes for holding an opponent's stick at 2:05.
T-Birds short-handed for the first time tonight as they dump the puck down in on the Kamloops goaltender. Dubnyk played it in behind his own net to Teslick. 1:34 to go on the man advantage. The puck shot down ice. This is going to be an icing call against the Blade. Now they wave it off the last second. The linesman Murchison waved it off. And I think if the Seattle defenseman Brenton Stamler didn't make a motion towards the puck in his own zone, he probably would have had the icing call. But instead, the T-Birds have to play it. Stamler behind his own goal, trying to fire it out. Hits the skate, comes out in front at the right post, knocked away by Lepp. Rolling to the slot, wind-up shot. That one by Macias goes wide. Broken stick lying down on the ice up near the near boards at the blue line. Blazers shot blocked in the right circle by Stamler. Kamloops on the power play 14th in the Western Hockey League. They have scored 10 power play goals on 93 chances. Their success rate only 10%. Of course, the T-Birds' #1 penalty killer. There's a shot on goal, knocked away at the right post by Lepp. Loose puck, shot, score. Lepp took himself out of position when he made the initial save, and the rebound came right back to the circle, and it was knocked in, and Kamloops is on the board. 1-0, a power play goal against the first power play goal against Seattle in quite some time. Only the 4th they've given up all year. And it comes here early in the contest. Blazers take the lead, the goal at 3:20 of the first period. So Kamloops into a bit of futility there. They've been shut out over the last 7 periods.
That was Moses Gutierrez getting the goal, his 2nd of the year. The broken stick cost the T-Birds. It was Aaron Gagnon without the stick that he shot the puck right past into the open net for the go-ahead goal.
And remember that icing call that was waved off. Seattle never got the puck out of the zone. It was kind of a questionable icing that was waved off on Seattle, but they couldn't get the puck out of their own end. And Kamloops is on the board. Macias gets the assist.
They gave the goal to Cam Cunning.
So Cunning got the goal. Gutierrez and Macias get the assist. Puck at the blue line. There's a shot by Simpson that goes through the slot. Duran tried to redirect it, could not. Chipped out of the zone by the Blazers. Loose puck rolling back to the Seattle blue line. Picked up by Fitzgerald. Chipped to center ice by Farmanar. After it goes Metcalf. Even behind the Blazer goal, coming out near side. Poked out the puck, got it back against the inboards. Trying to chase free. Tied up in behind the goal by Bender. Spins on Bender. Looking to bring it back around near side. Does turns, fires, shot at the side of the goal. Knocked down. And Bender behind the Blazer goal throws it up to the blue line and out of the zone off Faco. Kyle was just leave it in front of the Kamloops bench as he had to wait for his team to get back on side. Blazers play it. Saggart off his skate out of the zone to center. Simpson turns and fires right on goal. And a glove save made by Dubnyk. He's got to hold on with Skirko coming down the slot.
Tom, you mentioned Devan Dubnyk, first round selection of the Edmonton Oilers. Kamloops had 5 players drafted last year. 3 of them went to the Edmonton Oilers. One of them, the now departed Max Gordichuk, who was dealt earlier this week to Vancouver.
Face-off in the Kamloops zone is to the right of Dubnyk. Aaron Gagnon on the draw to Hansen. Hansen lost it in the near circle. It's poked out of the zone by the Blazers off the stick of Brent Olsen. Or Ben Olsen. Here it's back to Bartley in his own end for the Blazers. Cross ice up the boards left side. Jackson for the T-Birds back at his own blue line. Knocks it forward through the neutral zone. It got tipped up into the Seattle bench off somebody on the bench and came back onto the ice. So stops play. Face off at center. Shots are even so far here at 2 apiece. Seattle will change. Of course, being the home team, they get last change on the ice. It changed right in front of their bench, so it's made quickly as Duran comes on, wins the draw. Jackson trying to shoot it cross ice, had it knocked off his stick right at the blue line. Fortunately, it was tipped back out after Richards knocked it down. Lukin carries it back into his own zone for the Blazers. Stolen at the line by Hansen. He was trying to weave around Macias. He had 2 teammates off to his right, but they were going the wrong direction, trying to come out of the zone. And I think Haney would probably like to get that one back and just take the shot. Here's Bud Holloway flipping it up the boards and out. Duran slips it to center ice onto the tape of Lindsley. He'll tee up his shot that's deflected high in behind the goal. Off the inboards after it goes Holloway, brings it back around near side boards, leaves it down low for Lindsley. Lindsley back on top, one-time shot by Barthel, knocked down by Holloway in the near circle, trying to get to the rebound, couldn't. Lukin gets it coming the other way, he'll shoot it in on glove side. Lepp will pull it down, reach for it, play it behind his own net. Slipped around the boards by the T-Birds, not out, held in at the blue line by Saggart. Down low, Richards behind the Seattle goal, taken up against the boards by Barthel, trying to spin off Bart and put it back in front. Bart pushes him off the puck, sitting loose there for Javoski. He comes out in front, still loose. There's a shot. That one trickled off a body in front of the Seattle crease. Holloway played up along the near boards. Barthel comes to help. 14-14 to go in the first. T-Birds trail it by 1. Battle with Jasovsky. Here's a shot on net at the near side post, and the save made by Lepp, and the T-Birds ice it the other way, and that'll stop the action with 14 minutes, 4 seconds to go in the first. Seattle down by 1. We'll take a timeout. Back with more from the Key on Thunderbirds Radio. Helping your goalie out here. Let it go, Lepp, let it go.
Don't get cute. Oh, boy.
T-Birds trailing it by 1 here in the first period. The puck comes in across their blue line, quickly sent back out by Fitzgerald, picked up by the Blazers in center ice. Dumped back on side by Bender, chased by Fitzgerald down low in the corner left of his own goal. Spin it up off the glass, past Metcalf to center ice. Waiting for it, Bender at the red line, play it back to his own end. Headman pass for Gutierrez. Well, it's a quick whistle. Nobody touched it. It was going to be a 2-line pass. Icing at the least, and the linesman just assumed that somebody for Kamloops was going to get a stick on that puck, and he blew the whistle.
Nobody touched it. The Blazers now out shooting Seattle 5-2. Face-off just inside the Blazer blue line.
They just wait. Icing brings the face-off deep in the Kamloops zone. Gagnon wins the face-off, walks toward the front of the goal. It's knocked down in the slot off the puck. Cleared down ice. Icing waved off again by the linesman. And it's back to get it Jackson in his own zone. Spins it up the boards right side, now reversing direction. Plays it behind his own goal to Simpson. Up the left wall for Skirko. Tips out of the zone for Gagnon. Back to Skirko. Cross ice in his own end for Jackson. Coming up the right boards at center. Get to the red line, trying to feed it ahead. Loose just outside the Kamloops zone. Picked off there by the Blazers. Played down ice by Grockmal. Simpson at it behind his own net. Knocked off the puck. Blazers get to it. Knocked down in behind the Seattle goal. Loose puck outside the crease off the near post. Played to the line. There's a wind-up shot by Macias on goal, and a pad save by Lepp. Steers it into the corner. Couture will shoot it down ice for Seattle, and this will be icing on the T-Birds with 12:39 to go in the period, down by 1. Well, hockey fans, if your busy lifestyle won't let you get here to the Key for every T-Bird home game, and create your own ticket package with Seattle Thunderbirds pick plans, check the schedule, then pick 6, 12, or even 18 of the best games of the year. You'll save time and money. Plus, get the best seats for the biggest games. Pick ticket plans start at just $108, and all details are available by calling the T-Birds at 206-448-PUCK or log on to SeattleThunderbirds.com. Puck dumped over the boards at center ice for a souvenir to the crowd below us. Face off just to the Blazers side of the red line. 12:32 to go here in the first. T-Birds being outshot 6-2, trailing at 1-0. Mitch Fadden on the face-off. The puck rolling back to center ice, picked off at the Seattle blue line by the Blazers. Olsen couldn't hold it in. It comes back to center ice to Macias. Macias head to the neutral zone, bouncing puck wide, goes to the far board. Stamler gives it a whack, can't get it out. Held in by the Blazers. They take it to the back of the goal. Chased by Barthel out the near side. Another broken stick on the ice. The puck shot toward the Seattle net, pushed away at the near post by Lepp. Gibbons at the blue line gets knocked off the puck on the hip check. Got the puck to center ice, gets back up on his feet. Macias plays it back at his own blue line. He'll bring it onside, whip it on goal. Glove save made there by Lepp at the top of the crease. Plays it behind his own net for Stamler. Stamler holds the puck in behind the Seattle goal, looking now to move up ice with it. Coming out of his own end, trying to throw it cross ice. The shot blocked at the Seattle blue line by Aaron Richards. Loose puck sitting just inside the Seattle zone, picked up by Jasowski. Walks to the front of that, goes backhand shot, and he scores. And the T-Birds having all sorts of trouble just getting out of their own zone tonight and find themselves down by a pair, 2-0, and 11:35 to go in the first period. That goal was all Jasowski. Just walked in from the far boards on goal, and nobody went to him. Made a great play as Lepp tried to take him off the puck with a stick.
You got to put a body on that guy, though, Tom. You can't let him walk in your zone like that. Jasowski's second of the year. Time of the goal, 8:25. Unfamiliar territory, down by 2. Timeout taken by the T-Birds.
T-Birds have called a timeout. They'll all gather up at the bench. We will take a timeout. This game trailing at 2-0. And just some sloppy play by Seattle in and around their own blue line. They turned the puck over there a number of times. Being outshot now 8-2. And have not generated anything in the offensive zone. Back at center ice with it, Fitzgerald. Play it back to his own blue line to Faco. Up the far boards to Gibbons. Tipped into the zone. Chased by Saggart. Duran chases him into the corner. Knocked down off the far boards. Metcalf comes around near wall with it. Looking to center it from the corner. Plays it behind the goal. Played it behind Gibbons, who couldn't get a stick on it. Chased by Derek Wawrinka. Shot back near side boards. Metcalf tied up against the wall. The puck comes sliding free, picked up by the Blazers. Gutierrez out of the zone. Headmans a pass to Saggart. Back to Gutierrez. Coming on side. Whips one on goal. And a save made by Lepp and steers this one up over the glass and out of play.
Thunderbird hockey in tonight's first period brought to you in part by Amtrak and the Cascade T-Bird fan train. A safe and relaxing way to travel to Portland to see the T-Birds take on the Hawks. Check the schedule for game dates, then call 1-800-USA-RAIL to reserve your seat. The T-Birds will be in the Rose City 1 week from tonight to meet the Winterhawks.
Face off to the left of Lepp. Puck right in front of the Seattle net, and Lepp has to jump on that one in the crease. As nobody in blue saw that puck. Lepp did see it, fortunately, and fell on it. You know, the good news is it's early in the game and plenty of time to get back in it, but if you keep playing this way, you could find yourselves down by more than 2 in a hurry. So the T-Birds really have to get focused back on the task at hand. Here's Gagnon playing it down behind his own goal for Hansen. Up the boards left wing to Skirko. Out of the zone on the tape of Gagnon. Breaks onside. He's got a man with him. Couture with a shot on goal and a save made by the goaltender Dubnyk. at the left post. Good quick move up ice to the neutral zone, and Gagnon fed Couture with a good pass out of the slot to the right wing, and he put the quick shot on net, and if there's going to be a rebound, Gagnon would be there, but Dubnyk does not leave it on the ice.
And he doesn't give up many second chance rebounds. The T-Birds are going to have to capitalize on the ones they get.
When the face-off, quick shot off the draw by Skirko went wide. Hansen trying to hold the boards off the near side does. Pushed it down low, Gagnon behind the net. Tied up against the inboards by Teslick. Getting help by Couture, trying to work it free. He gets pinned up against the boards by Bender. Gagnon comes back into the fray to try to work it loose. Couture using his skate to try to move it. And finally, referee Zalaski says that's enough. We'll blow the whistle. Face-off in the Kamloops zone. 10:17 to go in the first period.
Fans tuned into the game tonight in the building may notice a bit of a different look to the Kamloops Blazers uniforms. They got permission from the Vancouver Canucks to design these sweaters after the third jersey worn by the Canucks last season.
Face-off to the right of Dubnyk in the Blazers zone. Durant on the face-off, tied up in the circle by Grockmal, trying to kick that puck free. It's worked by Hogg out of the zone for the Blazers. An icing call coming up against Kamloops. Well, Kamloops, a team that had somewhat success until recently. It was known as Little Montreal because of the titles they won over the years. But that success has eluded them here as of late. They went through a stretch of not winning a playoff game in 5 series over 5 years. Finally did win a game, but not a series last year. And not off to a great start this season. Here's Chris Durant bringing it back into the zone. Banged up against the boards. Loose puck behind the net. Rolling free off the half wall near side for Barthel. Chased off his stick. Here's a break for the Blazers. 2-on-1. Macias and Cunning. Cunning puts a shot through the slot. Knocked away at the right post at the last second. Lepme got a piece of that one to get Macias off the play. Loose puck along the half boards, right of the Seattle goal. Simpson trying to dig it out of some skates. Here comes Lindsley to help out. Was worked free for a moment there by Chris Hogg, but then tied up against the boards for the face-off in the Seattle zone. And of course, the history of these two teams is that the T-Birds originated in Kamloops, or at least the franchise came down from Kamloops.
Moved down, became the then Seattle Breakers at that point.
Face-off to the right of Lepp in the T-Bird zone. Off the face-off, Fadden kicks it free for Gibbons. Coming out of the zone right wing. Has Tolpeko ahead of him. Couldn't get the puck to him. Knocked down in front of the Seattle bench. Deflected back into the Blazers zone. Dubnyk out to get it. Sweep it behind his own net. Knocked down free back there by Tolpeko. Fadden picks it up. Chasing it out the far side. Gets hooked up against the boards. Knocked off the puck. Penalty coming up on the Blazers. Seattle will get a power play. Their first opportunity to be a roughing call here against Kamloops. Their first penalty of the evening coming at 10:45.
Cam Cunning going into the box for the Blazers. Actually, that's not Cunning. That's looks like 22 if I remember.
Adam Cherneko.
Couldn't tell if it was a 1 or a 2.
22,
Cherneko.
12 going off. So T-Bird power play in effect. They got one power play goal last night in that win on the road in Spokane. Let's see if they can keep the momentum of the power play success going here tonight on their first opportunity. Kamloops penalty killers, 16th out of 20 in the Western Hockey League. So they've given up 18 power play goals already this season. So they've given up more than a goal a game on the power play as the T-Birds look to move up ice up the right wing with it. Gibbons got to the red line, dumped it in. Chased in behind the Blazer goal. Knocked out free by Fadden. Couldn't get a stick on it. Stamler trying to pinch in and hold the point. Could not. Now a 2-on-1 the other way, shorthanded for the Blazers. Onside comes Lukin. Shot. That one went wide on the blocker side. Rebound all the way back to center ice. Richards picks it up back at his own blue line. Fires it into the Seattle zone. Bouncing past Fitzgerald. Lepp knocks it down. Fitz plays it behind his own goal. 1:18 to go on the man advantage for Seattle. Fitz looking to break out of his own end. Pushes the puck to center ice, right wing. Duran flicked it off of a Blazer player into the zone, but it's flipped right back out by Kamloops. Chased by Fitzgerald to center ice. Trying to get it back on side. Sent cross ice to Haney. He'll bring it into the zone on side. Hansen lost control of the puck, got it back, slides it behind the goal. Bartley trying to push it out at the blue line, holding Fitzgerald, can't control it. Hogg the other way. Deford's half. Hansen back, he blocks the shot. It rolls toward the net, knocked down and covered up by Lepp outside the crease at the right post. And the power play for Seattle down to 47 seconds with just 8 minutes to go in the first period. And T-Birds so far on the power play haven't had any success.
Haven't had a shot on goal yet. You've seen the Kamloops Blazers speed. That an individual effort there by Chris Hogg, but a couple of 2-on-1s and 2-on-2s so far early in the game as well.
Scott Jackson on the face-off in the Seattle zone, plays it behind his own goal. He'll give it up back there to Couture. Coots will move it up the boards right wing through the neutral zone, weaves his way with a pass up the left wing boards to Skirko, out of his reach though. Skirks goes after it, trying to chase it back on top to Hansen. He's tied up along the near wall. Gagnon coming over to try to work the puck loose. Skirko jumps into the battle. Gagnon walks off the boards with it. Couture down low. Bring it back on top to Hansen at the point. Hanny back to the near circle to Skirko. Down low to Couture, below the goal line. Back on top blue line to Hansen. Give it to Couture in the near circle. Defenseman goes down to block the passing lane. Back down low to Gagnon. Circles off the half boards right side. 5 seconds on the power play for Seattle. One-timer from the blue line. On goal, save May and rebound Jackson. Chased it off the far boards. Behind the net for Couture. Penalty over. Teams back at even strength. Couture to Gagnon behind the net. Coots coming around near side, wraparound attempt, and he just missed it. The puck rolled off the end of his stick. There's a shot blocked. Jackson got it back. In the slot for Couture, blocked and sent out of the zone. Gags had the goaltender go in the wrong direction, but he could not get that puck around the near post. Oh, he had Dubnyk fooled.
Yeah, that was definitely the right idea, just missed it.
T-Birds on a kick-in will be guilty of a delayed offside here as Saggart plays it up to his blue line. It's dumped down ice. This will be an icing call against the Blazers with 6:41 to go in the first period. And the T-Birds trailing it by one. Hey, every Sunday you can turn to the sports section that the Associated Press sports editors voted one of the nation's 10 best. It's in your Sunday Seattle Times and Seattle Post-Intelligencer. Pick up a copy at a local newsstand or call 206-624-READ to subscribe. That's 624-READ. Shot off the half wall by Simpson, blocked. Duran chased it along the boards, comes off the wall with it, try to dump it down low, tied up in the circle, still loose there. Worked free by Lindsley on top, and Simpson fumbles it out of the zone. Waiting for it back at center ice and trying to dump it back in was Barthel. Again, a whistle stops play. I'm not sure why.
That was interesting, and when puck went off the glass, it didn't go over the glass. Face-off will be to the Blazers' side of the red line.
It wasn't offside. It wasn't a two-line pass, so I'm not sure why the whistle. A couple of curious calls here by the linesman already in this game as Barthel trying to push the puck up along the near boards in his own zone. Instead plays it behind his goal for Duran. Up the far boards to the blue line, but not out. Now it's kicked to center ice. Duran picks it up. Coming onside. Checked off the puck from behind by Lukin. Chased it to the corner. Dumps it down low. Picked up by Lukin below his goal line. He gets hit by Holloway. Knocked off the puck. Gibbons picks it up. Gibby looking to play on top. One-time shot by Fitzgerald wide at the right post. Comes off the inboards out the right side. Fako pinching after it, trying to hold his own, could not. Big hit along the far board. Is going to be a penalty on Fitzgerald for Seattle.
Kneeing, yep.
Yeah, they got him for the knee right in front of the Kamloops bench. So the penalty against Seattle will give the Blazers the second power play of the period. They're already 1 for 1, and both penalties on Seattle have been against Zach Fitzgerald.
Fitzy came in tonight 8th all-time on the penalty minutes list. Climbing slowly up that as he sits down for kneeing at 14-15.
Blazers power play number 2 as Hansen will push that puck down ice. Saggart back in his own end for the Blazers after it. Holds the puck in behind his own goal. Now he'll begin the rush up ice with a drop pass up the boards right wing to Teslick. Teslick tied up at center ice at the red line by Topeko, shoots it in, chased by Jackson behind the Seattle goal. Puck came loose for a moment to Cunning. Hansen coming after it for Seattle, trying to roll it through skates. Slide it up the right boards. Blazers get back on it quickly. Hogg with it. He turns off the far wall. Play it to the blue line to Teslick. Teslick looking to play to the high slot. He gave it up outside the zone. Yes, good call by the linesman. Teslick was being harassed by Gagnon along the blue line and pulling the puck back, pulled it out of the zone. So face-off comes back to center ice. 1:20 to go on the Fitzgerald penalty. T-Birds will change up their penalty killers. Chris Duran out there on the draw, plays it back to Barthel. Clayton in his own zone will go high off the glass to shoot it down ice. Kicks off the inboards. Dubnyk leaves it behind his own net for Saggart. Saggart holds the puck in below his goal line, now looks to move up ice with it. Played up the right side wall to Rockmall. Coming to the neutral zone, gets to the Seattle line, flicks it in. Lepp goes behind the net to play it. Trying to blast it around the near side boards. Cunning knocked it down, played it back into the corner left of the Seattle goal. Cunning tied up with Barthel, got the puck down low, gets it back along the near wall. Looking to play back out on top to the point. Now goes high slot to Saggart, back to the top of the near circle to Cunning. Skates in, takes a shot off of a body in front. Rebound comes right to Chris Duran, and he will lift it out of the zone to center ice. T-Birds want to change at the penalty killers, but Saggart knocked it down to the red line, plays it back in. It's offside again. They play the puck back outside over the blue line, and then back in with 33 seconds left on the power play. We'll take a timeout. T-Birds trailing 2-0 here in the first to Kamloops. Back with more on Thunderbirds Radio.
We're getting caught playing their game right now.
We're caught playing their game, but we're not playing ours.
We're getting into the chippy stuff too. That's what I mean by playing theirs. Extracurricular stuff after the whistle. You gotta let that stuff go. Oh, come on. I did not just see that.
Well, Seattle catching a break as we come back to play as goaltender Josh Lepp went behind his net to play the puck, held it, and then tried to lift it out of the zone, but he lifted it right into a Blazer player, and he's just fortunate that they had a hand pass whistled against them because the net was wide open. You know, Lepp's going to be a bit rusty. Remember, all he's been doing is practicing since he started in the first game, and he's had an injury and hasn't been able to face a lot of shots in practice until recently. Lukin spinning with the puck back in his own zone, being forechecked by Skirko right off the play. What a play by Ladislav Skirko on Jarrett Lukin. He just hit him in open ice right at his own blue line to take him off the puck and knock him down on his backside as the penalty. No, there he does it again. Skirko waiting for that puck at the blue line, has to go to the bench now on a change. Here's Couture throwing it in on goal. It's deflected high off the stick of Bartley to the defenseman. Goaltender Dubnyk out to play it into the corner to his right. Jasovsky gets hammered by Fadden. The puck at the blue line held by Seattle. Knocked out of the air. Gloved down by Topeko. Turns a shot on goal. Gloved up and saved by Dubnyk.
And we'll give Ladislav Skirko our Tim's Cascade Crunches of the night. Get the Cascade Crunch with Tim's Cascade style potato chips twice on that shift.
Face-off is to the left of Dubnyk in the Blazer zone. Mitch Fadden out there to take the draw for Seattle. Off the face-off, Gibbons trying to get to that loose puck, could not. Blazers carry the puck behind their own net, shoot to the glass, to the line, knocked down there by Hansen, couldn't hold it in, poked out of the zone by Warenka. Comes back to the Seattle blue line to Jackson, headman past the center ice to Pecco. He thought Gibbons was going to jump to the outside, Gibby jumped inside, and so the pass was stolen, but it's an icing call against the Blazers. And probably that was the best move for Gibby to jump outside because he'll have a lane down the right wing into the Blazers zone. He cut inside. But he's thinking probably that Topeko's not going to give up the puck, that he's going to pick it up and join the rush. Face-off is to the left of Dubnyk. T-Birds now with 5 shots on goal. Blazer with 9. They've really settled down in that department. That timeout seemed to help Seattle. Blazers trying to blow it out of the zone. Can't get it past Jackson at the point. He's tied up though at the blue line. It knocks back to center ice off of him. Loose puck in front of the Seattle bench. T-Birds slide it through center ice for Metcalf. Played off the left boards, dumped to the Blazer blue line. Kamloops right there to shoot it out. Brought back onside by Metcalf off the near wall. Dump it down low. Testlick behind the goal trying to sweep it out. Jackson coming after it for Seattle. He gets hammered off of his feet along the far boards on that hit by Gutierrez. Puck comes sliding into the Seattle end. Chased back there by Hansen. Up the boards left wing to Metcalf. Nobody with him. Mets got to hold up, wait for some help. Now the T-Birds want to change up. Mets will just dump, go to the bench. Well, the linesman here had his arm up for icing, and the Blazers were playing the puck near their own blue line. I'm not sure if these linesmen are seeing what we're seeing. It's not the same game right now. They've made some curious calls already in this game as the puck gets flicked down ice. Here's Stamler back at his own blue line, out of the zone. Couture with it to center ice. Blazers right there on it. Flip back in on goal. Swept up by Lepp. He'll cover it up. Face-off coming up in the Seattle zone with 2 minutes to go in the period. Blazers are, I don't know, you would call it a trap, but they're really keeping the T-Birds bottled up in the neutral zone. They can't get going. They can't get that speed of theirs untracked, or on-tracked, if the case may be. Face-off won by Kamloops. Dumped in behind the Seattle net. Kicked off the inboards to the right post. Poked away by Lepp with his right skate. Played in behind the goal. Dug out by Cunning, but he left it for Fako. Kyle taking out the puck from behind by Cunning. The puck still loose off the inboards. Fako finally flips it out the right side to Couture. Coots coming up the right wing, got a 3-on-2 developing with Skirko. Here comes Gagnon. Skirk trying to throw it in front. Great job of diving into that one by Saggart to block it. Then Saggart tried to throw the hit on Skirks, and Skirk gave it right back to him. Penalty coming up as Skirko goes down. Seattle on the power play. Ladislav Skirko is playing hard here late in the first. It's a holding penalty against one of the Kamloops players.
Time of this penalty, 18:30. Power play chance number 2. And how big would this be if the T-Birds could dent the twine behind Dubnyk here late in the first period?
Going off will be Grockmal. Seattle with a power play to end the period with a face-off to the right of Dubnyk in the Blazers zone as Duran out there with Metcalf, Gibbons, Hansen, and Jackson. T-Birds get the puck back to Hansen at the point. He'll take it into the slot. Give it up top of the right circle to Duran. Down low, Metcalf. Back on top, Duran as the defenseman goes down, blocked the shot, rebound shot on net, save made by Dubnyk through traffic and cleared down ice off the rebound. Leapt quickly out to play it. Down to 1:10 to go in the period. T-Birds looking to move out of their own zone. Jackson moving up the left side boards. Headman pass there to Gibbons. Lost the puck outside the blue line. Tried to dive to keep it moving. Couldn't. Jackson back on it at center ice. Dumped in by Metcalf. Dubnyk will go in behind the net to play the puck. Big hit there by Seattle. Going to be a penalty here on Gibbons as he goes high up on Saggart. Going to be an elbow call here on Ryan Gibbons. The fans don't like the call, but that'll wipe out the Seattle power play. Time of the penalty, 19:10 of the first.
I don't know, Tom, if that was an elbow, but you can't go in with a referee 5 feet away that high. We'll go 4-on-4 for the remainder of the first period of play, barring any other penalties.
Well, you're 6'5", it's hard not to go high, but it did look like he got the arm up. It looks like he got hooked prior to that when he was trying to bring that puck in before. So 4-on-4 is Fitzgerald trying to get it onside, couldn't. 45 seconds left in the period. Aaron Gagnon play it back to his own blue line to Simpson. Headman through the neutral zone to Topeko. Back to Simpson. He'll flip it onside. And it's played off the corner. Dashers off the glass behind the net, out to play it. Dubnyk tied it back there with Gibbons, or by Gagnon. Gave it away to Topeko in the corner. Dennis trying to come off the half wall with it. Is tied up, can't drag the puck with him. Finally, the Blazers throw it down ice. 24 seconds to go here in the first. Is back to get it Fitzgerald in front of his own goal. Here's the puck in behind his own net. Looking to push up ice. Headman pass to center for Couture. He'll bring it onside. Down the slot, Topeko couldn't get to it. It rolls out to center. Couture, he's tripped up in front of the Blazer bench. Fitzgerald trying to work the puck free as Coots gets back on his feet. 3 seconds to go in the period. Shot down ice, that'll do it. The period will come to an end. And not the best period this season the T-Birds have had, especially on home ice, as they find themselves trailing by a pair. First time this season. T-Birds hockey in tonight's second period face-off is sponsored by Castrol Syntec. Everything else is just motor oil. Underway here in the second period, and the Blazers take the puck back into their own end. 4-on-4 to start the period for 20 seconds. And then the penalty on Grockmal will be over. T-Birds here in the second, moving left to right. Blazers defending the goal down to our right. T-Birds hoping that the ice is slanted here tonight because both goals back in the first period were scored in that goal. That's now being defended by Kamloops. T-Birds take the puck wide through the Blazers zone. Jackson trying to spin off the half wall, looking to go to the net. Puts it on net. Shot under the pads, attempted by Metcalf, covered up by Dubnyk. What a good move there by Scott Jackson to take that puck coming all the way from the blue line in the high slot, coming wide and going right to the net. Face-off will be to the right of Dubnyk in the Blazers zone. 13 seconds away from a Kamloops power play as they win the draw in their own end. Played by Macias behind his own goal. Macias throws it up the boards left wing for Jasowski, and it goes all the way down ice before he can get a stick on it. So it's icing against the Blazers. 1 second away from their power play opportunity. Will be about 40 seconds in duration when they do go on the man advantage.
Richard Jasowski acquired from the Brandon Wheat Kings. Blazer bench boss Dean Clark had coached him in Brandon, wanted to bring him in and make him a part of the Blazers organization, and he did.
Face off back to the blue line. T-Bird shorthanded, take a shot through traffic from Fitzgerald that went wide. Power play now in effect as Skirko down low. Loses the puck along the near wall, trying to get back onto it. A one-man wrecking crew attempting to be that. Skirko for Seattle on the forecheck, trying to kill off this abbreviated Kamloops power play. Lukin up to center ice, right wing. Shot in by Teslick. Around the boards it comes near side to Richards. Let it go behind into Lukin. It's tipped behind the Seattle net. Chased there by Richards out the near side. A race to the puck. Macias knocked off the play. T-Bird's Fako couldn't clear it. Right there to try to clear it was Skirko. He cleared it right into the skates of Gagnon. Fitzgerald gives it a blast to the line. Knocked down there. Penalty is over. Out of the box comes Gibbons, looking to feed him up ice. And doing so are the T-Birds. Here comes Gibbons, right wing with Gagnon. Behind the play is Skirko. Gibby puts a shot on goal that went just wide on the far side. Held at the point by Fitzgerald. Dumped behind the goal. Gibbons coming after it near side, trying to get to it. Trying to chip it down in behind the net. Does. Running to it, Holloway. He and Farmanara down low. Trying to play it off the inboards. Farmanara coming out on top. At the blue line to Fako. Down low again for Holloway. Holloway spins it below the goal line. Gibbons picks it up. Gibby behind the net, tied up by Teslick, trying to come off the boards with the puck. Farmanara trying to spin some room back there as Gibbons gets spun off the play. And the Blazers will slip it to center ice. Picked up at the red line by Fitzgerald. Quickly turns it up ice. Picked up coming off the bench. Oh boy, there's a great play attempted by Fadden, but Lukin was better as Fadden saw his man breaking down the right wing. Lindsley uncontested, tried to feed it to him, but Lukin jumped in there and got a piece of that. Battle in the corner left of the Seattle goal. 2+ minutes into the second period. T-Birds trailing it 2-0 and a face-off coming up in the Seattle zone.
Tom, they have made a scoring change on the Blazers. First goal scored at 3:20 of the opening period. Macias was given the first assist. That has been changed to Jared Lukin. So that goal on the power play now reads Cunning his 10th from Lukin and Gutierrez at 3:20.
Face-off, Seattle zone. Farmanara on the draw. Face-off won by Kamloops. At the blue line, this shot gets popped up in the air. Played off the boards in behind the Seattle goal. Lindsley chased it up and then back in behind his own net. Flicks it around the on-rushing Grockmall. Holloway trying to lift it to center ice. Bouncing puck at the Seattle blue line, picked up by Holloway. Slips it ahead for Farmanara, breaking with Stamler. Yash trying to cut it on net. He throws it on goal. Knocked away at the right post. Holloway plays the puck down low. Tied up by Saggart. Here comes Lindsley. The puck sliding in behind the Blazer goal. Kamloops getting to it. Holloway trying to poke it free. Off the near wall comes Seattle's David Lindsley. Lindsley to Gagnon. Gagnon behind the net around Grockmall. Trying to spin that puck free off the far boards. Gets tied up. Here comes Metcalf off the bench. Got it to Lindsley. Turns, fires a shot through the slot wide. Stamler coming out the blue line, holds it in. He gets pulled down. A penalty coming up. T-Birds put it in the slot. There's a shot just wide on the glove side. T-Birds trying to get the goaltender out for the extra attacker, but the time they do, the Blazers get possession of the puck. Let's take a timeout. T-Birds going back on the power play for the third time tonight when we resume from the key, trailing 2-0 on T-Birds Radio.
Holding at 3:08, and that is Cam Cunning. That one I know I have right.
Gotta get a power play goal here.
When you get not getting many chances to get the puck up, like Rob said, was going to be a challenge.
Holding. Time of the penalty, 3:08. Kamloops, Cunning. 2 minutes for holding, 3:08.
Oh, almost got it anyway.
Seattle on the power play. Down below the goal line, right post. Couture puts it in front of the net. Loose puck shot, score! Aaron Gagnon does it. The T-Birds are on the board. It's 2-1. Aaron Gagnon with his third straight goal for Seattle, going back to last night's win in Spokane. It's a power play goal for Seattle. Their second in as many games. Couture will get an assist as Gagnon picks up the loose puck off the rebound.
And Gagnon, a nice job off the behind the goal line. Walking out front was Couture. Gagnon goes to the net, bangs in the rebound. Time of the goal, 3:21 for Gags, his 9th of the year. Power play goal, cut the Blazers lead in half.
Well, that's what Seattle needed to do here in the second period, was get one of those back to get within a goal. Try to get momentum as they bring it back on side. Duran plays down the far boards, trying to get a skate on it as he lost his stick. Farmanara trying to work out of the corner. Back to Simpson at the blue line, trying to knock it in front. Rolling puck comes to center ice. Waiting for it, there's Jackson. Plays it in front of his own bench. Poked free by the Blazers. Jackson chases to it. gets to it, overskated the puck in front of the Blazer bench, gets back on the puck, but it's dragged by Gutierrez to the Seattle blue line, held there at the point. Comes free to Duran. Flip it off the glass to the point and out of the zone. Picked up by Topeko. Push it wide for Farmanara. Yash onside. Metcalf going to the net. Throw it in front. Metcalf pops it over the goaltender. He had to reach out, and it goes up and over the glass and out of play. 15:48 to go here in period 2. The T-Birds back within 1-2 on the score.
Take this opportunity to give the T-Birds recap of the first goal of the game, presented by Dean Street and Associates. The only real estate call you'll need to make on the power play. Aaron Gagnon is 9th from Skirko and Couture at 3:31.
Yeah, right after Couture put it on goal, Skirko gave it actually an initial whack and barely got a piece of it, and it came right to Gagnon. Gagnon off the wall, loose in the circle, got it back to Lindsley in the slot. Now lost the puck, trying to drag it to his forehand. It comes to center ice. Barthel chips it into the Seattle bench and out of play, and a face-off coming up in the neutral zone. Fans stop by the T-Bird information stands here at the Key and enter to win a fully catered dinner for 4 from Buca di Beppo. You'll enjoy a huge family-style Italian dinner served by waiters at a table located right off the rink with a full view of the hockey game. Drop your name in the box at the T-Birds' next home game and get set to win from the T-Birds and Buca di Beppo, Seattle's favorite family-style Italian restaurant. South Lake Union at 9th and Broad and in Linwood. Puck in the T-Bird zone at the point right side. Shot on glove side made on the save by Lepp. Try to drop that one quickly, but has to hold on. Face-off coming up in the Seattle zone. Macias taking that shot. Not quite 5 minutes into the second. T-Birds coming into play tonight on a 5-game winning streak. They're also unbeaten in 5 home games. Face-off will be to the left of Lepp. Seattle has not allowed more than 2 goals at home yet this season. And they're hoping that continues, because if that's the case, they've given up their last goal. There's a scramble in front of the Seattle net, dug away by Gibbons, and he looks to turn it quickly the other way. Out of the zone to Topeko. Knocked off the puck in front of the Blazer bench. Kamloops shoots it off the linesman, held outside the zone. As a result, comes right to the stick of Fitzgerald. Carries it back into his own end. Give it up to Fako. Well, I was a little worried that as soon as I was talking about that, Kamloops was almost putting the third one in. Here's Gibbons driving it into the zone, gets pulled down off of his skates. Penalty coming up.
They're going to call it on Gibbons.
Oh boy, it could go either way, but they'll get him for the hook. Gibbons tried to jump around the Blazer player to get to that puck and did use his stick to try to get a little momentum, and so hooking call will give Kamloops their 4th power play of the game. First penalty of the second period on Seattle, second penalty of the night on Gibbons.
Sorry, Tom, time of the penalty, 5:18. Kamloops so far with 1 power play on the night.
The draw just above the Blazer zone off the near boards at center ice. Duran shoots it back to his own blue line to Matthew Hansen. Hansen skates right to left across the blue line, then shoots it down ice. Dubnik jumps in behind the goal to play the puck there for Teslick. So an important penalty kill here for the T-Birds as Teslick plays it up the boards right side to Saggart. Lost it at his own blue line and just slides it out of the zone to center ice. Teslick chased it down ice, dumped into the Seattle zone. Icing the call, though, against the Blazers. Bring the face-off back into the Kamloops zone down to our right. 1:39 on the power play remaining for Kamloops, who came into tonight 14th overall in the league. They had scored 10 power play goals coming into the game. Now they're up to 11 on 96 chances. Face off, Blazers control the puck. Teslick will push the puck in behind his own goal. Looking to break up ice, coming out of his own end, played ahead to Jasowski. Weaves his way onside, poked off the puck, off the near board, swept to the line and out of the zone by Metcalf. Ties up Teslick at center, it comes free to Duran. Duran breaking across the line off the left boards. He'll chip it and go to the bench on a change here for Seattle. Played by Teslick coming out of his own end. Weaving his way by Gagnon, loses the puck at the blue line. It comes up the near boards for Lukin. It's a 2-line pass against the Blazers, and so the action will stop. And again, the face-off all the way back into the Kamloops zone down to our right. We'll take a timeout here. T-Birds trailing it by 1, 13:51 to go in the second. Back with more on Thunderbirds Radio. Spurgo doesn't know where it's at.
She was up on end when he shot it and it knuckled.
Trailing it by 1, Seattle on the penalty kill. 13:22 to go here in the second. In the box, Ryan Gibbons for another 35 seconds as Gagnon trying to play it out. Goes up high off the glass. It goes up into the Blazer bench. Thought the Blazer player at the blue line who jumped up might have got a piece of it, but apparently not. The face-off back in the Seattle zone will be to the left of Lepp. Kamloops only 1 shot on goal so far here in the period. T-Birds, or should I say 2. The T-Birds now with 5 shots on goal. Blazers out shooting Seattle 12-11. Duran on the face-off, tied up in the circle, comes kicking free off the half wall right side, played back to the blue line by the Blazers. Victor Bartley, give it up top of the right circle. There's a shot in front, deflected away. T-Birds will clear it out of the zone, picked up at the blue line by Fitzgerald, flick it down the right wing. Couture going after it. Coots gets to the puck, throws it off the back of the net. He was looking to feed in front for Duran. Duran, meanwhile, has to drop his stick because it's broken. Quickly goes to the bench to get a new one. Has to actually go off because the T-Birds already brought somebody else on to take his spot. 5 seconds left on the Gibbons penalty. Blazers back in their own zone with the puck. Played right into that broken stick. Bartley shoots it behind his own net. Couture trying to force the action as we're back to full strength. Kamloops with the puck in behind their own goal. Now they'll push it to center ice. Bouncing puck, Faco. Playing that rolling puck ahead up the boards right side of Farmanara. Brought on side. The puck rolled off the end of his stick. He'll chase to the corner. Holloway goes to it. Picked up by Farmanara. Play it down low for Lindsley. Lindsley trying to play it off the back of the net. Poked away from the goaltender. It's still loose in front. Farmanara was tied up. Couldn't get to it. Faco holds it at the blue line with his skates. Lindsley and Holloway battle for it. Comes back along the near wall to the blue line to Faco. He'll throw it toward the goal wide. After it goes Macias. Farmanara bumps him off the puck. Trying to dip it down low for Lindsley. Got played off the puck blue line. It's held by Faco. Knocked down in the slot. Turning, shooting on goal. And a save after the shot by Farmanara by Dubnyk. Great shift by that young line. Holloway and Lindsley with Farmanara in the middle.
And a bit of an energy line here tonight. Farmanara gloved the puck down and got the shot off. Nice save by the Edmonton Oilers draft pick Devin Dubnyk. Face-off will be off to his right in the Blazer zone.
Shots are now even at 12 apiece. Aaron Gagnon, who scored Seattle's goal in the draw, wins the face-off. Skirkle, quick shot wide on the glove side. And the rebound comes up the left wall and out to center ice. Chased by the Blazers. Gutierrez into the Seattle zone. In behind the net after it goes Hansen for Seattle. Tied up back there with Brock Nixon. Taken around the boards. Couture up off a knee to play the puck. Slips it behind his own goal to Hansen coming around near side. Hansen trying to shovel ahead to Gagnon to center ice. Gets it to Couture. Weaves through the neutral zone but lost the puck at center ice. Gutierrez poked it to the Seattle blue line. Jackson waiting for it there for Seattle. Coming out of his own end, left wing. Flip it ahead, bumped into across the blue line. It's deflected down ice by Kamloops. Icing waved off, so Hansen will come back to play it. And he carries the puck in below his goal. Blazers changing up in front of the play. As Hansen gives it up to Jackson. Headman pass out of the zone to Gagnon. Play it right side, Couture off his skates. Push it to the blue line. Onside comes Skirko. Whips a shot off the glove of the goaltender, and it just trickles wide outside the left post. Here's Couture battling down low in the corner to get the puck moving. Knocked free by Skirko. Skirko and Couture off the near wall. Comes free for Gagnon down low. Teslick trying to keep him tied up. Gagnon and Couture go after it. Here comes Skirko to try to push that puck and work it off the inboards. Skirko battling Saggart, got it to Gagnon, tied up, got free, in front, Couture lost it, Skirko coming after it. Hams the puck down low, Gagnon comes off the wall with it around the near side, looking to throw it in front at the blue line. Simpson trying to reach to hold it, could not. Shot all the way down ice. Lepp coming out to play the puck. In behind his own net, flip it up the fireboards. Lucan knocks it down, but right there to play it off him is Metcalf, swept it down ice. Icing call coming up on Seattle, and play will stop with 10:19 to go in the second. Faceoff back in the T-Bird zone down to our left. Seattle now out shooting Kamloops 13-12, but still trailing it by 1.
Thunderbird hockey in tonight's second period brought to you in part by Castrol Syntec. Under extreme heat and stress, Castrol Syntec performs better and outlasts conventional motor oil. Castrol Syntec, everything else is just motor oil.
Face-off in the Seattle zone, loose in the face-off circle, poked behind the net by Duran, rolling around the boards near side. Barthel getting loose, get it to center ice, bouncing puck picked up by Duran, trying to feed it cross ice for Metcalf. Metz plays it off the wall in front of his bench, dumped it in. Duran will chase it below the goal line, out near side Farmanara, waiting for help, throws it out far side. Metcalf and Barthel go after it. Barthel from the blue line, shot blocked by the Blazers. They come the other way with it. Richards loses it at the Seattle blue line. T-Birds get it ahead to Farmanara. Pokes it ahead into the zone to Duran. He's got Metcalf with him, 2-on-1. Duran whips a shot on goal. Rebound. Oh, a big save again by the goaltender. His momentum took him right into that second shot. Now the Blazers bring it on side. In the slot, Lucan wind-up shot, scores! And just like that, the Blazers are back up by 2. End-to-end action at one end, a great save, and then another by Dubnyk, and that begins the rush the other way. And the Blazers respond by scoring their 3rd goal of the night. The first time this season the T-Birds have given up 3 on home ice.
And Tom, how many times in the game of hockey have you seen a great save at one end lead to a scoring opportunity at the other end? Jasovsky with a nice drop pass right on the tape of Jared Lukin. Lukin beats left for his 3rd of the year. Time of the goal, 10:25.
Well, Seattle had gotten within 1 on a power play goal, but now the Blazers have that 2-goal advantage back. Here it comes to center ice. Grockmal trying to shoot it in. Gagnon trying to keep it out. Holloway tips it to center ice. Blazers get on it. Macias at the red line will flip it back onside. Chased down the left wing by Cunning. Fitzgerald gets there first. Trying to play it ahead to Lindsley. Knocked down off the near wall by Hogg. Battle for the puck right of the Seattle goal. Poked free by Hogg. Gets tied up by Lindsley. The puck down low to Cunning. He and Fayco chase each other into the corner. Cunning trying to come off the inboards with it with Grockmal. It's poked off the stick. Played behind the Seattle goal. Fitzgerald trying to bang it out the far side. Holloway giving chase. He'll look to get it out of the zone. He does to Lindsley. Lindsley to Gagnon. Gagnon bring it onside. Whip is shot wide. Kicked all the way around the fireboards. After it goes Holloway, tied up with Hogg down along the fireboards in the Blazers zone. Lindsley coming over to try to chase that puck free. 8:35 to go in the second. T-Birds trailing at 3-1. We'll take a timeout. Be back with more from the Key on Thunderbirds Radio.
Make sure you go outside of section 115 for the costume contest.
Not getting the bounces tonight.
Nope. And the ice may be tilted a little bit, but not that much.
These
Get out of the way,
linesmen are
dude.
pretty awful. Seattle down by 2 again, trying to put another one in as Topeko knocked off the puck, shot around the boards. Hansen at the point left side holds it. Down low for Gibbons, tied up by Bender along the corner boards, right of the Blazer goal. Goes in behind the net, penalty coming up on Kamloops, going to be on Bender. T-Birds looking to get the goaltender out for an extra attacker. Topeko behind the net for Fadden. Fadden trying to spin off the wall, gets tied up, and finally it's touched. And Seattle will get a chance to go back on the power play and see if they can get the one they just gave up back. The penalty coming at the 12:01 mark of the second period.
It's like a holding call again, and it is. Holding the penalty of choice, it seems, tonight.
So Bender will go off. Seattle back on the power play. They're 1 for 3 so far tonight with a man advantage. Face-off will be to the left of Dubnyk. Gagnon, who scored that power play goal, is out there for Seattle. Wins the face-off back to Fitzgerald at the point. Skates into the top of the circle. Take it to the high slot. Whips a shot on goal right there to knock it down. The defenseman Saggart, and he gets it cleared to center ice. Stamler back at his own blue line. Flipped it right up off the linesman into the Blazer bench trying to feed Fitzgerald. And so a face-off coming up in the neutral zone. Gagnon again will stay out there, but Fadden will come out as Couture goes off. Skirko also on the ice for Seattle. Gagnon on the draw against Lukin, plays it back into his zone into Stamler, comes cross ice near side of Fitzgerald, he'll bring it out of the zone. Runs into his own teammate and 2 Blazer players. The puck skitters free. Stamler back on it behind the Seattle net down to our left. 1:30 to go on the power play. 7:30 to go in the second period. Fadden through the neutral zone. Weaves his way to the blue line. Lost control of the puck. It comes out of the zone and back in offside on Seattle. So the draw will be just above the Blazer blue line off to our right with 1:24 to go on that Bender penalty.
T-Birds will return to action this coming Wednesday when they travel back to Kennewick to the Three Rivers Coliseum to battle the Tri-City Americans.
Chris Duran, Farmanara, and Metcalf now on the ice for Seattle. Face-off won by Kamloops. Dumped down ice. Lepp in behind the net. We'll leave it back there. Matthew Hansen picks up the puck coming out from behind his own goal, looking to push to center ice. Breaks across his own blue line to the red line at center. He'll flip it in wide of the goal. Reaching out to pull it in was the goaltender Dubnyk. Couldn't control it. T-Birds get to it behind that Metcalf for Duran. Duran, bring it out right side along the half wall, now above the circle. High slot Hansen, one time shot wide, comes off the inboards, rolling slowly and cleared down ice. Hansen chases it back into his own end. Hogg giving him chase. Hanny will carry the puck out from behind his own goal. Hogg continues to play him. The puck rolls to center ice. Comes back into the Seattle zone. We're down to 40 seconds of power play time left as Scott Jackson goes back to play the puck in behind his own goal. Now looks to push up coming out of his own end. Moving with a pass up the left side boards to Hansen. Back to Jackson. Get to the red line and he'll play it in. Giving chase Couture in behind the net out to play it Dubnyk. Rolling around the near boards to McCapp. Back to the blue line, but he didn't throw it hard enough for Jackson. It's easily cleared away by Gutierrez. Seattle has to regroup back at center. Gagnon trying to bring it back onside. Played back in across the line just inside the zone off the fireboards. Metcalf trying to work it free. Gutierrez falls on top of the puck. Gagnon worked it loose to the blue line. T-Birds threw it cross ice through the zone, but nobody there to play it. And the Blazers will get to it, and that'll do it. Penalty is over. Out of the box for the Blazers comes Bender, so Seattle missed an opportunity there on the power play to get back within one. And the puck comes to center ice. Couture with it. At the red line, ahead, looking to hit Skirko, bringing it onside, gets around Bartley, chased it down low, takes the bump from Macias. From his knees, got it loose to Gagnon. Play it back in the near circle. Gagnon cuts to the slot to Skirko, goes to the front net. There's a shot on goal by Gagnon off the pads of the goaltender. Played behind the net by the Blazers. T-Birds hold the zone. Gagnon turns, goes to the slot, winds up, shot went high. May have been partially redirected high. Played down low in the corner. Skirko upends one Blazer player. Coming off the wall with his Gagnon. Goes behind the goal, coming out far side to try to feed it to the blue line to Barthel. Throws it on net. Swept away at the right post by Dubnyk. Played to the blue line but not out. Couture holds it in. Coots circling down low in the corner. Goes around his teammate. Plays it off the half wall. Turns and fires it on goal. Gagnon going in front of the goaltender trying to create some traffic. T-Birds trying to hold it in off the far wall. Couture comes loose, and finally the Blazers come the other way 2-on-2 to center ice. Losing the puck was Richards. Got it ahead. Jasowski. Barthel gets to the puck ahead of him. They tie up along the inboards. Skirko shooting it out, but held at the blue line by Saggart. Thrown toward the net. Knocked down in front of the Seattle goal. Loose puck off of a skate. Picked up by Barthel. He'll clear it down ice. Rolling slowly, but not too slow. It'll be an icing call on Seattle. We'll take a timeout. 4:40 to go in the second. T-Birds trail it 3-1 to the Blazers. Back with more on Thunderbirds Radio.
Tonight's winner gets dinner for two of the Outback Steakhouse. So cheer, dance, or whatever it takes to show your T-Bird pride. And good luck from the Thunderbirds and the Outback Steakhouse. Now open on South Lake Union at the corner of Broad and Westlake.
Seattle's Duran trying to push it through the neutral zone for Holloway out of his reach. Lindsley picks it up. He'll dump it back in. Chased by the Blazers back in their own zone. Duran gets back there first to play the puck off the inboards. Tied up by Saggart. Holloway coming to help. Holloway battles down in the corner with Chernyenko. In front, Lindsley turns, fires, shot. It just got deflected wide from the slot. Lindsley was open just above the hash marks, took the feed and tried to fire it in. It got partially directed wide. Here's the puck to center ice, dumped into the Seattle zone by Tanner Irwin. Players falling down behind the Seattle goal. Irwin gets tied up by Fitzgerald, worked free by Lindsley, trying to feed it ahead to Duran, almost gave his teammate up. As Duran got hit hard, the puck kept into the zone, goes to the side of the goal and scooped in by Lepp at the left post. He holds on with 3:37 to go in the second period. Well, if you'll be entertaining corporate clients or colleagues celebrating a special occasion, or you just want to plan a great night out with family and friends, the Thunderbirds are the best sports entertainment value in the Northwest. To find out how you and your group of 25 or more can save up to $3 per ticket, plus get 2 free tickets to another game, click on SeattleThunderbirds.com or call 206-448-PUCK. There's a shot from the blue line that went wide. Blazers trying to hold his own. Hawk knocked it down for Cunning. Chased by Grockmal down low. Hansen gets there with him in behind the Seattle net. Fadden come and get it. Played off the puck by Hogg. Comes back after the loose puck. Hansen trying to poke ahead and out of the zone and does. Picked up at center ice by Bender. Comes near side boards to Teslick. Lost it at his own blue line but recovered in time to get it out. T-Birds Topeko tripped up at center ice. Penalty on Cunning again. Cam Cunning will be going off. Seattle will be getting a power play. Stuck the stick right into the skates of Dennis Topeko. And so Seattle's third power play of the period coming with 3 minutes, 8 seconds to go in the second period.
Time of this tripping penalty, 16:52. Power play chance number 5 overall on the night for Seattle. They are 1 for 4 to this point.
Faceoff will be inside the Blazers zone, top of the right faceoff circle. Aaron Gagnon on the draw. Tied up, wins the face-off, back to Jackson. Give it up at the point, left side to Hansen. Hansen skates in the slot, now give it to Gagnon, top of the right circle. Gagnon fakes the shot, pulls it in, fires a shot deflected high off the glass and up and over the glass and out of play. And the face-off will stay inside the Blazer zone. Face-off will be to the right of Dubnyk. T-Birds are out shooting Kamloops 17-13, including 11-3 here in the second period. Yet they trail it by 2. They win the face-off. Back on top, Hansen to Jackson. Jackson down low near boards for Skirko. Skirko, top of the near circle, below the goal line. Couture in front for Gagnon, and he fanned on the one-timer. On top, Jackson, one-time shot in the glove. Save made by Dubnyk. Boy, the T-Birds had a great opportunity on that feed. Couture to Gagnon. Gagnon camped above the crease at the right post. The puck went right by the goaltender. He gets a piece of that one. T-Birds have their second goal. He missed.
You hear it said all the time, a game of inches. Right there, no more than 2 inches, but they got the face-off deep in the Blazer zone to the left of Dubnyk.
T-Birds win the face-off. Fitzgerald at the point near side, goes cross-ice. Stamler in his skates gets the puck at the high slot, spins it down along the far boards, down low for Couture. Tied up with Saggart. Behind the net, Gagnon comes after it. Played around for Skirko. Back to Gagnon. Tied up. Skirko works it free. Goes in behind the goal. Looking to come out from behind the net right side and does. Played to the blue line of Stamler. One-time attempt. Shot on goal. Knocked down at the top of the near circle by the Blazers. Fitzgerald holds the blue line. Skates around Lukin. Give it up along the half wall to Gagnon. Gagnon looking to go down low below the goal line for Couture. Coots bring it out far side, but nobody at the point. Stamler was in the slot. He has to race back to get it in his own end. 50 seconds left on the power play for Seattle. 1:55 to go in the second. They trail it by a pair. 3-1, Blazers on top. Fitzgerald coming out of his own zone to Durant at center. Drop it right. Oh, boy, I got to take exception with that call by the linesman Boudreau on the two-line pass.
You're not the only one that took exception to that. So did T-Bird assistant coach Jimmy McTaggart.
Durant did a great job of making sure he reached behind him on the other side of the center ice red line to get the puck.
To stay on sides. That's exactly what he did.
Well, the linesmen
McTaggart saw the same thing we did.
They've been a little off tonight, to say the least. They made some bizarre calls. They haven't affected the way the game has gone so far, but boy, you know, you got to be on your game too. Here comes Metcalf to center ice. T-Birds power play time winding down. 25 seconds. They shoot the puck in. Dubnyk behind the net plays the puck off the end boards. Play to the blue line and out by the Blazers. That's just about going to do it. The T-Birds have chased it back in their own end. Scott Jackson back to get it from his goaltender behind the net, being chased by Hogg off the puck. Hogg off the half wall left side, tied up by Jackson. So Hansen gets to it, flips it behind his own goal. Cutting ready to come out of the penalty box here in 2 seconds as the T-Bird player Farmanar tripped up by the referee trying to come out of his own zone. There's 2 minutes for tripping. T-Birds now back to 5-on-5 hockey with a minute to go here in the second. Farmanar will dump it in. Played off the inboard. Saggart trying to shove it out. Could not. Gutierrez gets to it. He'll lift it. The T-Birds were changing up on the play. The puck goes, though, into the Seattle bench. And so the face-off back into the Seattle zone, down or to the Blazer zone, down to our right with 49 seconds to go in the second period.
Tom, a note on former T-Bird Brett Cron, playing this season with Lowell in the American Hockey League. Part of the goaltending tandem with former Western Leaguer Red Deer Rebel Cam Ward.
Off the face-off, Kamloops getting the puck, trying to shoot it out around the boards for Wawrinka. Tied up along the near wall. Stamler trying to keep him there while Lindsley comes to try to work the puck free with 38 seconds to go in the period. Blazers trying to get it out. Knocked off Wawrinka. Left of his goal along the half wall. Finally, we get a whistle from the referee and play stops, and a face-off coming up in the Blazer zone.
29.6 seconds left here in the second. T-Birds find themselves down by 2. They did it last night with a 3-goal third, coming back from behind against Spokane.
A little different game, though, tonight for Seattle. Even though they were down 2-1, they were actually the better team on the ice than Spokane was for most of that contest. Tonight, that's not been the case. They've been outworked much of this game, although they've had a strong second period. They have made too many mistakes and came out flat at the start. Here's the puck at center ice. Barthel chasing it back to the Blazer zone. Oh, you know, Boudreau, the linesman on the right side, he keeps raising that arm to indicate an offside or an icing or something, and there's nothing going on. He's just anticipating something that's not there as the penalty or the period about to expire here in the Seattle zone. But the puck was just sliding through the neutral zone with the Blazer player coming up to it, and he had his arm up. He was ready to indicate an offside on Seattle. There wasn't a T-Bird player within 10 yards. Just right. Here in the third, the T-Birds will be moving right to left. Kamloops defending the goal off to our left with Dubnyk in goal for the Blazers. He's made 18 saves. At the other end, his counterpart in his first game since the opening night. Seattle's Josh Lepp has made 10 stops on 13 shots. Only faced 3 shots in that second period. But did give up the 1 goal that extended the Blazer lead back to 2 after Seattle had cut it to 1. Seattle trying to get out of their own end to center ice. Duran lost it at the red line. It gets lost along the boards in front of the Seattle bench. He chased it back to his own blue line to Jackson. To Hansen coming out of the zone. Hansen pushed it across the blue line, dumping it in. Dubnyk jumps in behind the net, plays it back there. Trying to tie him up is Gibbons. Puck shot to the blue line, knocked down with a skate by Hansen. Holds the zone, the puck still rolling free. And finally, Teslick gets it out to center ice. T-Birds quickly shoot it back in. Bender goes behind the net after it. Gibbons trying to chase him around the boards. It comes near side Metcalf, hoping somebody was back at the blue line, but nobody was. T-Birds were changing up their defensive pair. And so the T-Birds have to regroup back at their own blue line after the puck. Gibbons going off the ice. As the T-Birds trying to complete a forward line change as well. The puck in the Seattle zone. Stamler in behind the goal, down to all right with it. Holds the puck as the T-Birds look to break out from their own end. Stamler ahead to center ice to Gagnon. Flip it up the right boards. Brought on side by Couture. Rolling puck. Wouldn't sit down for him. He fanned on a shot. Dumped behind the net. Gagnon looking to bring out in front. Skirko was going to the front of the net. Gagnon coming around the near wall with it. Tied up from behind. Can't get away from Lukin. Jasowski gets it to center ice. Stick lifted from behind. The T-Birds turn it the other way. Here they come. Couture onside. And the net goes Stamler through it. It gets deflected behind the goal. Brought around the boards blue side. Bartha with a shot deflected high over the goal. Couture chased it down low. Leaves it for Skirko. In the corner. Brings it up the far wall. Stamler blue line shot deflected wide at the left post. Macias trying to clear it out. Stamler coming in after it. Locks it down. Here's Skirko in the slot. Back on a bouncing puck to the blue line. Barthel tried to one-time it. Bounced right over his stick. T-Bird Skirko back on side with Couture. Trying to get it to Couture. Left it off the near wall. Coots surrounded by a pair of Blazer players. They get it out. Waiting for it at center ice. Fitzgerald turns and fires it back in. T-Birds will complete their line change in behind as the Blazers lift this one down ice. Should be an icing call against Kamloops, and it will be. We'll take a timeout. 17:43 to go in the game. T-Birds trailing by 2. Back with more from the Key on Thunderbirds Radio.
Oh, a little harder. He shoots that thing right back in the open net.
Penalty, yes.
Nice job, Gibby.
Back to play, and a penalty coming up on Kamloops. Seattle's going to get another power play chance. Ryan Gibbons camped out in front of the Blazer goal, gets hauled down. And so Seattle on the man advantage as Brock Nixon is going off. Time of the penalty is at 2:32.
Power play chance number 6 for Seattle on the night. Face-off will be in the Blazer zone to the right of Dubnyk.
First, T-Birds have certainly come out in the third period doing what they need to do. They're attacking the Blazer zone. Haven't had any shots on goal yet officially as the puck cleared down ice off the face-off by Kamloops. Seattle's power play needs to get one here to get back within 1. With still plenty of time left in this third period, they get back within 1. It's a new hockey game. Here they come to center ice, left wing Skirko. He'll carry it on side. He'll roll the puck on goal. Bounces up, gloved up, held on by Dubnyk. Fakes off in the Blazer zone to his left.
Still a minute 41 remaining in the minor to Brock Nixon.
Blazer is going to change up. Cunningham, Hogg go off. New penalty killers on the ice. Lukin comes out on the ice. Along with Bender off the face-off. T-Birds get it back to Simpson. High slot. One-time Fitzgerald on goal, but no traffic in front. Dubnyk clears that one away. Skirko knocked it down off the half wall left side. Back to the point to Fitzgerald. High slot to Simpson. Simpson waiting for the defenseman to go down. Shoots over him, but shot wide. Played in behind the net. Gagnon tied up, trying to get free. Knocked off the puck. It flips to Lukin. Rolling puck. Can't get on it. Still loose in the circle. Simpson pinching down, trying to hold his own. Could not. Cleared down ice. Fitzgerald back to get it. 1:14 left on the power play for Seattle. Fitzgerald looking to push up ice, coming out of his own end. Played up the boards right side. Metcalf will dump it onside. Farmanaro trying to burst after it. Chased behind the net. Farmanaro gets there. Knocks the puck away from the defenseman. Gutierrez can't control it. Blue line knocked down by Jackson. Jackson down low left side below the goal line. Farmanaro coming out near side with it. Looking in the slot, gave it away. Gutierrez, but ramming the pile and knocking it free was Jackson. Up back on top, blue line to Duran, but he couldn't control it. It's out of the zone. T-Birds having bad luck with that rolling puck. Back to their own blue line, Hansen with it. Looking to headman a pass forward. Get Metcalf onside. It comes with Duran. Metcalf tied up, trying to take the puck wide. Got it to Duran down low in the corner. Shoot around near side for Hansen. 25 on the power play. Hansen at the point. Cross ice, Jackson. Jackson back to Haney in the slot. Near circle. No, he's going to throw it on goal. Didn't get through. Back to Duran off the near boards. On top, Hansen in the slot. Puts a shot on goal. Deflected wide on the redirect by Metcalf. Goes off of Blazer and up into the netting. Face off in the Kamloops zone to the right of Dubnyk with just 14 seconds now left on the Nixon penalty.
Metcalf with the right idea there. Got traffic in front of Dubnyk. As big as he is, you're going to have to try to get shots up. He tried to deflect that up. He got it too high there. T-Birds with 2 shots on goal on this power play.
Gagnon out there to take the face-off for Seattle. Wins it back to Stamler. Stamler at the point. Throws it on net. Bounces high in the air. Dubnyk having trouble locating it, but does and covers up. Gagnon was looking for it as well, but Dubnyk using his size that time. Even on his knees, he was about as tall as Gagnon was standing straight up. 7 seconds remaining on the power play for Seattle. Gagnon back on the face-off, trying to win that draw. Lindsley can't get to it. Shot out of the zone. That'll do it. Power play just about over as out of the box comes Nixon. Seattle missing another chance on the power play. And really for the first time this season, you can say the ineffective power play is coming back to bite Seattle. They certainly have had a number of chances on the power play tonight. Penalty coming up again on the Blazers. So Seattle will go right back. Cross-checking is the call. Looks like it's going to be on Aaron Richards.
Time of this penalty, 4:42. Power play chance number 7.
So Seattle getting opportunities. They're going to have to eventually start taking advantage of them. Face-off just outside the T-Bird zone off the near wall.
Tom, you just alluded to it. T-Birds get a goal here. Complexion of this game totally changes.
Hansen back into his own zone to Jackson. Jackson looking to come out of his own end. He'll carry it himself to center ice. Bring it onside left wing. Checked off the puck at the blue line, goes into the skates of Fadden, held in by Gibbons. Gibbons turns, fakes the shot, give it up high slot. Handy, one-time shot knocked away at the left post by Dubnyk. Back along the half wall with it, Fadden skates into the circle. Circle, back to the high slot, back to Hansen at the blue line, back to Fadden, top of the far circle. Tees up a shot that's blocked out of the zone by Teslick. He'll just push it down ice and shoot it in. And case there again where I think Fadden just held the puck too long. Got to pass it. That's the key to the Seattle's power play, puck movement. Trying to do too much. Gibbons coming to center ice, right wing, burst of speed, gets around Nixon, shoots it in. Dubnyk coming out to play it. Shot around the boards at the blue line, waiting for it, Hansen. Haney holds the puck at the point right side. High slot to Jackson. Jackson crisscrossing on top, play it down low left side, Fadden behind the net for Topeko. Back to Fadden in the corner, left of the goal. Camped down in front is Gibbons. In behind the net for Topeko. DT coming out from behind the goal, looking for help. Coming in the net goes Fadden. Topeko brings it back on top, blue line to Jackson. Jackson, give it up to Topeko, top of the far circle. Back down low left side, down goes Gibbons, taking it in front and shooting it was Fadden, and Dubnyk makes the save at the left post. Fans thought that there should have been another penalty as Gibbons got hauled down in front of the Blazer goal, but both guys are fighting for position in front of the net.
I think the fans a little bit restless at the lack of shots on this power play as well. Sometimes when a power play is struggling, you try to make the perfect play instead of getting shots on net. Still have 43 seconds though in the face-off in the Blazer zone.
Face-off to the left of Dubnyk, and the control of the puck goes to the Blazers. Can't clear it out. Knocked down in the corner by Metcalf to Gagnon off the far wall. Gagnon skates into the circle. Back down low. Metcalf back on top. High slot to Stamler. Stamler leaves it off the near wall for Duran. Duran trying to go back on top. Deflected back to him. Give it up along the near wall to Gagnon. Down low. Metcalf in behind the Blazer goal. Looking to come out in front. Quick shots. Goal! Zach Fitzgerald has pulled the T-Birds back to within one as he cuts in off the far wall and takes the perfect feed from behind the net by Metcalf, and he beats Dubnyk 5-hole.
That was a great shot by Fitz right there as he walks in contested. No Blazer knew where he was, just one-timed it past Dubnyk. Time of the goal, 6:23 for Zach. That's his first goal of the year.
Metcalf will get an assist for the T-Birds on that one. They're back within one. That's the second time tonight a power play goal has pulled them back to within one. Blazers flicking onside, chased behind the net by Lepp. He fanned on it behind the goal. Blazers get to it. Richards tied up. Fitzgerald played up the ball left side of Metcalf. Coming out of the zone, got a man ahead of him, Farmanar. Instead play it cross ice to Fayco coming down the right wing. Fayco played up into the corner boards by Victor Bartley. Metcalf works it off the wall. Back to the blue line he goes. Duran, Hansen, flip it toward the net wide. Off the inboards, Metcalf on it. Tied up by Lucan, breaks free. Trying to push it in front, can't get loose. Knocked down. Farmanar comes in front. Now throws it back behind the net for Metcalf. Met's coming around the near side. Goes high slot, blue line to Fayco. Fayco back in the slot to Duran. Turn, fire, shot, block. Loose puck in the circle. Battle for the puck. Jasowski taking out the play. Farmanara down low, spins out of the corner. T-Birds are changing up behind the play. Skirko coming on. Skirko goes right to the net. At the blue line, it's Jackson. Jackson turns, fires, shot, block, got his own rebound. Couldn't clear it in front. At the blue line, held for a moment by the T-Birds. Duran, but taken to center ice. Here's Hansen back at his own blue line. Ahead to Skirko. He's got Duran with him. Poked out the puck coming down the slot. The Blazers trying to break to the way. They're going to be guilty of an icing call here. Play will stop. We'll take. Now they waved off the icing call. Both teams were changing up. So icing waved off. Here's Jackson back on it in his own end. Push it up the boards, left wing, Skirko. Onside, Gagnon. In the slot, turn, fire shot, deflected wide. Couture goes after it in the corner. Worked free by Gagnon. Looking in front, shot, big save, rebound, left out in front. T-Birds can't get on it. Dubnyk with a huge save there. Skirko shot deflects to the front of the goal. Blazers get it to the line and clear it out of the zone. Barthel back on it for Seattle. Flips it up off the glass to center ice. Rolling puck, gets behind Saggart. Couture chasing him. Saggart tied up by Couture. Shot around the boards, right side coming. Hammered by Stamler, but the puck comes out of the zone to Gagnon. Gagnon back at center ice. Back to his own blue line to Barthel. Threw it rink wide. Stamler didn't have a stick. Blazers back to get it in their own zone. 11:30 to go in the contest. The Blazers going to be guilty of icing here. This time there will be an icing call. We'll take a timeout. 3-2. T-Birds back within one. Back with more on Thunderbirds Radio.
Did you get the assist?
Mets and
Gags.
Gagnon.
Second power play goal of the night.
Yeah, but we should have had more.
Yeah, well, still got time to get the game back tied, though. Shoot it!
Shoot it again! Ooh, missed wide on the
Oh, no.
penalty. He tripped him.
No.
They call him for trip.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, he tripped him.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. They both went 8:41.
Is that Topeka?
Yeah.
Back to play, tripping call on Seattle's Dennis Topeka. 8:41 of the third period, so Seattle will be short-handed. Tripping occurred along the far boards in the Blazers zone as T-Birds were continuing to put the pressure on. Now they'll be short-handed here. Hansen will flick the puck into the Kamloops zone. Dubnyk will knock it down behind his own goal for Macias. Macias pushes it up the boards right side. Teslick overskates the puck, gave it away to Metcalf, but he's falling back in his skates trying to dump it in. And Dubnyk comes out to play the puck out to his left. And Lucan will carry it out of his own zone, weaves his way to center ice through the far boards. Jackson going after it for Seattle. Jackson will blast it around the boards. Metcalf on a funny hop, can't get to it, neither can Macias. It gets behind him, back to his own end after he goes. Duran giving him chase, gave it away to Duran, flips it on goal. Save is made off the right pad. Dubnyk cleared that one away. May have been going wide, but he threw that right leg out anyway. Dumped in behind the Blazer goal. Kamloops on it. 10.5 to go in the game. Seattle down by 1:12 left on the Topeka penalty. Macias at center ice, flips it across the Seattle blue line. Racing to get it goes Gagnon. Turns and fires it out of the zone. Two Blazers at the blue line couldn't hold it in. It got by both of them. Dubnyk chased the puck into his corner back in his own zone. Gives it up back there to Teslick. Cross ice pass coming out of his own end too far, and Gagnon comes back to get it for Seattle. Quickly turns and fires it back onside. Dubnyk behind his own net, leaves it back there for Teslick. 44 seconds to go on the power play for Kamloops. They scored on their first power play to take an early 1-0 lead in this game. They've been 0 for since. As again, Skirko hammering Grockmall on the boards with a big hit there. And the Blazers shoot it down ice. It's a two-line pass.
That was
a face-off back into the Kamloops zone.
That was an obvious two-line pass. Clear down by the T-Bird bench as they fired it around there. 32 seconds remaining in the tripping penalty to DT.
Don't forget, for the very latest T-Bird news, real-time scoreboard updates from throughout the Western Hockey League, links to great hockey sites worldwide and everything else in between. Stop by and visit the new website for the Seattle Thunderbirds, www.seattlethunderbirds.com. Check out the new online shopping center. T-Bird players doing the modeling of the merchandise themselves. Zach Fitzgerald, Tyler Metcalf, Chris Durant among those doing the modeling for the T-Birds. Here's the break down the right wing for Cunning into the Seattle zone, throwing on net, gloved up at the near post and held on to by Lepp. 2 seconds left on the Topeko penalty. 9:21 to go in the game. Face-off will be to the left of Lepp. Blazers have not had a shot on goal in this period yet.
And even with the power play, now 2 seconds left, it won't matter. It'll come out of the box, but played almost 11 minutes without a shot on goal.
Oh, they played more than that because they only had 3 back in the second period.
11 minutes of this period.
Here's Fitzgerald getting it to center ice. Topeko losing it in his skates, got it ahead to Farmanar, coming onside with Holloway, throw it on goal, but it goes wide. Holloway chased to the far boards, taken up against the Dashers by Nixon, trying to poke it off the boards, and it's sent to the blue line, knocked down, but cleared to center ice by Gutierrez. Overskated the puck at the red line, dumped into the zone. T-Birds chase after it. Fitzgerald blasted up the boards, left wing and out. And this will be up. It'll be an icing call. I thought for a moment it went over the glass, but it ended up all the way down in the Blazer zone. Fakes off will be to the left of Lepp. 8:53 to go in the game. T-Birds trailing it by 1. They've never led tonight. They've fallen behind by 2 on a couple of occasions, coming back with a power play each time to get back within 1. Now they're looking for the equalizer. They've doubled the shots that the Blazers have in this game. T-Birds with 26, Kamloops with 13. Kamloops has not had a shot on goal probably since, well, they scored back in the second period. That goal coming at 10:25 was midway through the game. Off the face-off, Jasowski taking out the puck. T-Birds got a break coming the other way. Couture, right wing, Skirko joins him on the rush. T-Birds were changing up the defensive pair, and the pass in front. Skirko can't get it. There's a shot on goal. Pad save, rebound. Skirko threw it back in front and right on the pads of Dubnyk, and before Couture could get to the rebound, Dubnyk covered up.
And he had to be quick with that glove hand because Coots was right there on the shot to bang in the rebound if there would have been one. 26th save of the night for Devin Dubnyk.
Face-off Blazer zone, Gagnon on the draw, tying it up in the circle, got it down low, Coots in the corner, trying to bang it off the boards. Gagnon does come off the boards with it, goes behind the net, tied up with Bender, pushes it out the far side, trying to play the puck down low for Skirko. Skirks trying to get around the hit, does play it behind the net, gave it away behind the goal, knocked down by Couture. Coots coming out from behind the goal, far side, looking to play down low. Skirko with it, lost it in the circle, trying to get it back, hits a stick lying on the ice. Couture, as Skirko plays it back to the blue line to Jackson. Jackson dumps it back to Skirks off the left wall, back on top blue line to Jackson, just out of his reach and out of the zone. 8 minutes to go in the game. Hansen back in his zone in after it for Seattle. Plays it behind the goal, comes out from behind the net, pushing it up to center ice, weaving his way to his own blue line. Headman pass out of the reach of everybody. The Blazers played at their own blue line. Jasowski back onto the stick of Bartley. Bartley banging up the boards right side to center ice, sliding it down ice into the Seattle zone. After it goes Scott Jackson. Scott behind his own net, up the boards right side to Farmanar, trying to push it to center ice for Duran. Knocked down by Bartley. Farmanar got it ahead to Duran, onside in the slot. Metcalf, Weasley goes to that backhand shot. Big save, Dubnyk at the left post, and he holds on.
And
great move by Metcalf, coming down the slot to get that to his backhand. But Dubnyk was hugging that left post.
There were sticks and gloves and every other body part going every which direction on that move by Metcalf as he completely undressed Grockmall.
Congratulations, Kay. Thank you for your incredible...
Thunderbird hockey in tonight's third period, brought to you in part by the Outback Steakhouse. Make everyone's night with the bloomin' onion, tender steak, always fresh fish, and sinfully good chocolate thunder from down under. The Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
T-Birds have controlled the action since the second period. Unfortunately, they were trailing by 2. And since that, as an icing call against the Blazers, T-Birds have scored twice, but Kamloops has scored once. Kamloops scored on one of only 3 shots in the second period and have still not registered a shot on goal here in the third.
T-Birds have 10 shots on goal, outshooting Kamloops 10-0 here in the third.
29-13 for the game. They win the face-off. Blue line Simpson through traffic, shot blocked off a skate out of the zone. Gutierrez got his boot on it. Simpson falling down back at his own blue line, trying to keep the puck along the half wall. Gutierrez chased down low. Topeko joining the battle, dug out by Fadden. Goes behind the Seattle goal. Slipped it around the boards high off the glass, hit the referee, came right back to him. He lost it on the hit at the top of the right circle by Gutierrez. Stamler goes back to get it behind his own goal with 6:45 to go in the game. And Fadden, poor pass coming up the left wing for Topeko, just threw it right by him, icing against Seattle. It was a poor pass, not only because it did him on the tape, but because Kamloops was making a change on the play. So there's no need to rush the puck up the left boards. Face-off is to the left of Lepp in the Seattle zone. Off the face-off, Lucan trying to hit a quick shot off from the slot. It's deflected. Couture. Headman pass in the neutral zone for Skirko. Breaking down the left wing, trying to tip it. Back to the blue line, Gagnon can't hold it. Back to center ice on it, Fitzgerald. Cross ice, fireboards, Fako. A headman pass, Couture. In front of the Blazer bench, played off the puck by Lucan. Lucan in front of his zone net to Bender. Up the boards right side, Jasovsky coming out of the zone. Jasovsky wearing a full shield, by the way, with his helmet, much like Seattle defenseman Matthew Hansen is. As here comes Skirko to center ice. T-Birds moving in the neutral zone. Gagnon gets to it, ahead to Skirko, to Couture to Skirko, across the blue line through the skates of the defenseman. The puck comes rolling free. Skirk's trying to stay on it, deflects off a Seattle player out to center ice. Fitzgerald back to Fako, back to Fitz. Headman pass tipped onside by Durand. He gets hammered off the skates at the blue line, and it comes back to center ice. Fitzgerald has it. Leaves it back at center ice for Farmanar. He blasted down ice. Durand's going to get called here for a retaliatory penalty. So he came back to hit Jasovsky at open ice, and a penalty, and a bad one taken, a tripping call on Chris Durand.
Time of the penalty, 14-19. Second power play of the period for the Blazers, 6th of the night. And more importantly, T-Birds running out of time on the clock. Have to kill off this penalty or try to score shorthanded.
And you're down by a goal. You can't come back to take a penalty like that, especially right in front of the referee. Either you may disagree with the fact that you got maybe hit or slashed or whatever. You can't come back and take that kind of penalty when your team's fighting from behind. Now you're shorthanded. Trailing it by a score of 3-2. Blazers on the power play. Bring it onside, Hogg left wing. Tied up along the far wall by Jackson. Cunning down low. Knocked out the play. Hansen pushed behind the Seattle goal. Jackson after it. Tied up in his skates along the inboards. Left of the Seattle goal. Worked free. Hansen's got it. T-Birds come the other way. They got a 3-on-2. Here comes Hansen down the left wing. Onside with Metcalf. Trailing the play. Farmanar whips a shot on goal and a save is made. Face off in the Blazer zone. Well, every Sunday, turn to the sports section that the Associated Press sports editors voted one of the nation's 10 best. It's in your Sunday. Seattle Times and Seattle Post-Intelligencer. Pick up a copy at a local newsstand or call 206-624-READ to subscribe at 624-READ. Face off the right of Dubnyk. Blazers with control of the puck back in their own end. 1:15 left on the Durand penalty. Testlick working out from behind his own goal. Played ahead left wing to center ice with it. Nixon. The Seattle blue line brought on side by Gutierrez. Tied up in the corner. Lost it. Nixon on it. Nixon thrown off the puck from behind by Gagnon. Gets the puck back down low below the Seattle goal line. Barthel takes the puck free. Blazers looking to push it back out on top blue line to Bartley. Bartley goes high slot. Cross ice pass. Shot on goal. Saved by Lepp. That's the first shot since the second period by the Blazers. Their 14th of the game. Comes on the power play. Now they throw it in. Offside on Kamloops. It's going to be an intentional offside against the Blazers to bring the faceoff back into their zone off to our left. 40 seconds left on the penalty to Seattle. We'll take a timeout. Back with more on Thunderbirds Radio.
What do you think? Gags 2, and then I was going to go Dubnyk and Jasovsky.
Dubnyk's number 1.
Yeah, but Jasovsky 3.
I would play Skirko, but he had an assist. I don't know who for Seattle, but
I have a hard time giving Seattle 2 stars, though.
No, I'm not giving him 2. I'm just saying I would have gone Skirko, but you can go Gagnon if you want. Seattle trailing it by 1. 3:57 to go in the contest. They're shorthanded for another 13 seconds as they clear the puck down ice. Dubnyk plays it behind the goal. T-Birds change up their penalty killers as they get ready to go back to full strength. Durand will be coming out of the box. T-Birds at their own blue line. Durand coming out of the box to play the puck. Got tied up. Lindsley got it ahead to him. T-Birds break 2-on-1. Here comes Holloway in front from Durand. He goes, shoots, and he shot it high. Oh, there's a rookie going up against a top-notch goaltender who may have tried to do too much with it, and he knew he had to shoot high. He took what his coach said to heart. He shot it up in the net, not the goal net either.
The net behind the net, but...
Well, you got in too deep for one to go high like that, but I just think there's a young hockey player on this partial breakaway who, he had the right idea. He tried to go high on the glove side. He just shot it too high. He'd like to have that one back. Boy, is that a great feed by Durand. Here's Lindsley at center ice for Seattle, trying to push it down the boards right wing and dump it in. Dubnyk jumps in behind the net. After him goes Durand, swept around the near boards. After it goes Holloway. He'd love a second opportunity to try to tie this game up. Durand down low, works the puck free. Back on top, Fitzgerald, blue line shot on goal, just wide on the glove side as Lindsley cut in front to screen the goaltender. Blazer trying to clear it out, can't. Held at the blue line by Fako. Play it down low. Lindsley tied up with Teslick. Holloway trying to get free. In behind that, tied up with Bender. Chipped around the boards. Fitzgerald tying up Hogg. We're down to 2:45 to go in the game. Seattle down by 1. We'll keep an eye on Lepp at the other end. As Holloway and Lindsley trying to dig the puck free. They tie it up for a face-off in the Kamloops zone.
Going back to that play by Holloway, credit Dubnyk too with waiting. Veteran netminder making him make the move in commit. He waited Holloway out. 2:41 left now in regulation. T-Birds used their timeout back in the first period, but they've got the draw where they need it, deep in the Blazer zone.
And don't forget, they can always make a goaltender switch if they want another timeout. Face-off one, quick shot by Skirko, went wide on the glove side again. They have again the tender screen on that one. The puck coming to center ice. Back to the Seattle blue line, brought onside by Rorinka, knocked out the play from behind. Couture trying to push it to center ice and does. Picked up by Hansel on the fireboards. 2:24 to go in the game. T-Birds trying to play the puck onside. Skirko comes back to his own blue line to Scott Jackson. Cross ice to Hansen. Hansen will push the puck in behind the goal. Jackson coming around the near boards with it. Coming out of his own zone left wing. Through the neutral zone. He'll bring it onside. Chip it down low. Couture can't get loose to the puck. It's taken the other way by Jasowski. Jasowski will rip a shot that's deflected wide. Seattle's Couture back at his own blue line after it. Trying to get out of the zone with it, Jackson. Jackson playing it ahead left wing. Durand will bring it onside by himself. T-Birds are changing up. The puck comes to center ice. It's Jasowski in the back, feeds it across the blue line onside for Richards. Metcalf gets to it for Seattle. 1:40 to go in the game. Lepp beginning to make a move up to the hash marks. They roll it on goal, and it's covered up at the left post by the goaltender Dubnyk. Now we'll take a look as Lepp looks over to the Seattle bench.
See whether or not go all the way off here.
They want to bring him off now with a face-off in the Kamloops zone to the left of Dubnyk with 1:35 to go in the game.
He's above the hash marks, but I think they're going to wait.
See if they can get control of the puck on the face-off, as it's not controlled by Seattle, so smart to keep him in there as the Blazers come to center ice and shoot it down ice. Jasowski dumps it in. Lepp leaves it behind the net for Stamler. 1:23 to go in the game. Seattle trailing it by 1. They try to move it up ice, and Lepp will make his way to the bench. Here's Fitzgerald, a headman pass, tipped in onside by Durand, but right off the skate of a Blazer player, and Kamloops gets to it. Seattle can't pull the goaltender. They just clear it on ice. Lepp knocks it down with 1:05 to go now in the game. Here's Stamler coming out of his own zone. A headman pass, Metcalf popped it across the blue line left wing for Durand. There goes Lepp, extra attacker on the ice. Topeko comes on. Battle in the corner. T-Birds work it free. In front, Topeko backhands it on net. Rebound covered up in the crease by Dubnyk. Topeko got spun in the crease. He tried to put his own stick through his skates to poke it in. He poked it right on the pads of the goaltender. Dubnyk makes the stop and covers up.
Down to 50.8 now left in regulation. Face-off will be to the right of Dubnyk, who has 28 saves to this point.
Seattle goal remains empty down to our right. Gagnon out there to take the draw. T-Birds trailing it by 1. They can't get the face-off controlled, and it's dumped out of the zone by Cunning. Fitzgerald back on it in his own end. Weaves in behind his own goal. 40 seconds to go as they move up ice. Fitz, headman pass, past everybody down the right wing. T-Birds trying to keep it onside. Topeko does. Couture lost control. Topeko knocked it down. Played behind the Blazer goal. They try to bang it out, but can't. Topeko off the far board, shoots it on net. It was deflected wide. Race to the near wall after it. Blazers get to it. Hansen holds the zone. Skirko in front, bouncing puck. Topeko couldn't get control. It's cleared down ice. This will be an icing call on Kamloops with 14 seconds to go in the game.
Case there where the no-touch icing saves the T-Birds a couple of seconds. The automatic icing. Face-off will come back again to the right of Dubnyk.
T-Birds now up to 30 shots on goal. The Blazers 15, only 2 of those in the second half of the game. But one of those 3 back in the second period is right now the difference in the game. Blazers will be able to clear this one out. Rolling puck down to the Seattle end. Racing back to get it goes Scott Jackson. So there will be no icing, but that's not going to give Seattle much time to work up ice. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, that's it. Seattle will lose for the first time at home. And their 5-game winning streak comes to an end as they fall to the Kamloops Blazers by the final score of 3-2. Kamloops, after back-to-back shutouts on the road, able to score 3 times tonight, and they hold on at the end. Could not find the equalizer and fall for the first time at home, losing to the Kamloops Blazers by the score of 3-2. Aaron Gagnon, and Aaron, pretty good weekend for you last night with a couple goals in Spokane, including a game winner. Unfortunately, the home winning streak comes to an end tonight. It looked like the team just got off to a slow start tonight.
Yeah, same thing happened last night. We got off to a slow start, and last night we battled back, and today we had our chances, but we didn't bury, and we got to pay for that slow start, and letting a couple quick ones in. Well,
their goaltender Dubnyk, he's a big guy. Is he a tough guy to solve?
Yeah, we tried to go up high on him, but just weren't hungry enough in front of the net, I guess. Got to bury those ones.
Well, tonight you got a couple of power play goals. The power play have been struggling. Now we've got 3 power play goals in the last 2 games, but 5-on-5s tonight, we just couldn't get one past them.
Yeah, I mean, the power play was the positive thing tonight. We finally got that going, got a couple goals, but yeah, 5-on-5, we got to get more goals going. And
well, again, congratulations on a successful weekend for you with your 2 goals last night and your goal here tonight. You lead the team in scoring, and you go out on the road now for 4, and it'll be some tough games on the road, but the team's proven they can win on the road. Kind of put this one behind you and go out there and cut a couple more wins.
Yeah, no doubt. We're going to put this one behind us and go after the next few games here.
T-Bird star of the game with a goal tonight, Aaron Gagnon. Will bring in T-Bird head coach now, Rob Sumner. And Rob, I know you were kind of guarded against this game coming into tonight, knowing that you were coming in with a 5-game winning streak, and the team you're playing had been beaten in its last 2 games by a combined score of 9-0, and they came out flat tonight and they took advantage of it.
Well, we knew they were going to come hard. I didn't necessarily know we were going to come as flat as we did, but this team, yeah, they've lost a couple, adds up to whatever it was, but they're also the team that went into Spokane and won 6-1, so we know they're a capable team, and we didn't come as good as we needed to early in the game.
Well, once again, the team didn't give up, fought back, got within a goal in the 3rd period, had some chances. Holloway in front got a nice feed, but shot high. Again, their goaltender's a big guy. You got to find some open space, not a lot with him in the net, but he did a good job for them standing up and blocking a lot of shots.
As we knew he would, and he should. He's a big part of their team. He's a big goalie, and we know he's a very capable guy. So the bottom line is we can't wait that long to start.
Well, you're not going to win them all at home, but you had a 5-game home winning streak, and it's always tough to lose on home ice, especially now that you go on the road for 4.
Well, we're a good road team too. We know we can win on the road, and I'm disappointed in tonight's game. I didn't think we played as good as we could have, but now we have some road games to look forward to, and we'll get some wins there.
Well, again, win last night, so you split the 2 games this weekend, and you start on the road on Wednesday night. Good luck.
Thanks, Tom.
T-Bird head coach Rob Sumner will be back on radio with more. This is Thunderbirds postgame show.